Hello, my friends, and welcome to 365 Days of Healing. Today, we're going to discuss balance and how we can stay balanced in our lives day to day. It's a difficult thing in the West, isn't it, to find a balance in our everyday life. If we don't balance between rest, work, or doing things, and then just having quiet times and space without doing anything. We are very open to anxiety and pressure and stress in our lives. It becomes vitally important that we try to find space to balance the things that we feel we need to do, particularly if you're a parent and if you're working or if you're running a business and trying to find time while that business is running, and the pressures that come of just running a business or being a parent, or having any major crisis going on in your life creates a lot of stress and anxiety in our life if we allow that to happen. So the more we rob the time from rest and from just deep quiet times, deep contemplation, or creative pursuits that don't stress us at all, the more likely we are to engage in feeling very stressed. Now, what happens is when we become stressed, we have a physiological reaction to that stress that causes us then to our heart to beat faster. We can perspire more easily. Psychologically, we feel pressured, and it leads to a distortion in the natural rhythm of our lives. Now, everybody has their own rhythm anyway, and it's finding that rhythm and the balance that you need in your life. The other side of that is if we don't do enough, if we're not engaged in enough activity and pursuit, we then can become very bored, and we find that life is just a bore and is, well, boring. And that creates its own level of stress and anxiety as well. So it is about balancing all the parts of our lives, finding the natural rhythm. If we need 8, 9, or 10 hours sleep a night to be in a natural rhythm, we need to try to find the balance so that we can become very rested. When we are sleeping, when we are at rest, and the bodily functions are automatic, so the parasympathetic nervous system is engaged, it is the time when we stop this frontal lobe of the brain from overworking, and we relax and we allow true healing to take place. Now, if we try to intervene in that because we've got too much to do and we haven't got time for even proper rest, it actually will put pressure on our physicality and then on our emotional being, and that leads to mental anxiety and stresses, and it is often the precursor then of mental illness. The same goes if we are not engaged enough in doing things in life. Some people find just life is boring and they suffer from boredom, and that too leads to physiological changes, which then lead to emotional stress, and that emotional stress then leads to mental stress. So that too can be a precursor to what we call mental illness. So balancing the needs and finding our natural rhythm are paramount to our sense of harmony in this world. And it becomes vital that we find how to balance what we need. Sometimes when we think we're doing nothing and we're just sitting in contemplation or even in meditation, it's actually the time when we have space in our thinking that allows in new ideas, insights, and understanding, thoughts and resolutions to issues very often become manifest at that time when we seemingly are doing nothing. And that's why it is vital that we have that time to do nothing. But if we don't balance that with activity and with rest, then we are destined to be out of balance. And that, as I said before, leads to physical upheavals, physiological changes in our body where we are not functioning at our optimum, and that can lead to stress and anxiety. It also leads to mental trauma, which is then the precursor for what we call mental illness. So a vital subject, a vital need that we have to find the space. And if we have a business that is overloading us or is causing us stress, maybe we need to make changes in our business operations. We may need to ask for help from somebody else. Or if we're a parent and we're being overloaded with the needs of our children, we may need to be a really good role model for our children and show them the benefits of balancing their lives too. So having quiet times and having enough rest. So a subject that often particularly in our Western world is difficult to balance in itself, but a vital one for our well-being, and our well-being then leads to harmony in life, and harmony leads on to feeling a sense of joy and wonder, and bliss is the result of that. So then we can feel that our life and everything in our life is balanced. So thank you for listening. Namaste.